All right, so that was a lot of great information. Hopefully, it was eye-opening for you and helped you understand why Enagic has been a powerhouse company with the products that have stood the test of time. In a minute, I'll be handing it back over to Balaz so he can tell you about the business side of things. He knows this side of the offer very well. Now, you might be wondering, what does someone like Balaz earn who's had all this success and all these incredible results? Well, I can tell you this perpetual cash flow machine has helped him earn about $2 million a year passively, even through an 18-month period where he stopped all business and leadership activities altogether so that he could be present for his newborn kid. This is the power of a business system that keeps working even if you stop. And even though he hasn't been focused on personal production for several years, his organization still grows by about 5,000 people every single month. As I mentioned before, neither Enagic nor K8 are a perpetual cash flow machine. It's the combination of high-ticket commissions, a 50-year track record, unlimited global fulfillment, with our systems, funnels, softwares all together that create a perpetual cash flow machine. See, this is a proven process that can create massive results without having to take on six figures in startup costs like many other businesses do. Although six figures would be a small price to pay if you fully understood the potential. I mean, just for perspective, how much Apple stock do you think you'd need to own to passively earn $2 million a year in dividends? A lot more than six figures. Anyways, let's check out how we get paid. I'm gonna hand it back to Balaz.
Let's get into the business side so we can kind of connect the dots. Because if you become someone, a servant-driven leader that genuinely wants to help change people's lives with this company, you will be rewarded so well financially that you will not believe the abundance you experience in your life. This is my personal experience and thousands of people in my organization. I'm not the only one who's doing well, and I won't be the last one to do well. And I got so many people on my team. Like when I go on my social media, all I see are people on my team living their dreams, spending all day with their kids, quitting their jobs. And it's just incredible. And it only takes a couple of sales per month to set yourself free. 2, and you're free, not hundreds like most network marketing companies. So let's get into the numbers. I'm going to show you how it works. And I just want you to keep in mind, if all else fails and all you did was share the water with people who are willing to try it for free, and you just drove around town delivering water, or you had people come to your house and pick up samples, you can be successful in this company as a base foundation. Now, of course, we have other ways, and we have fully automation and leverage and online, all that. But at the core of everything, just sharing the water works really well. So let's get back to my super fancy slides and let's continue. The Enagic affiliate program. For those of you who are familiar with network marketing companies, affiliate marketing companies, this one slide alone will make you see that this is a unicorn. It's completely unique. And there's a few nuances in here that I'm going to quickly touch on. So first things first, it's a global company. There's no geographical limitations to building this company already as it stands right now today, which I think is so amazing, because we all have global contacts connected to people all over the world on social media. And if you don't, you could literally run ads to any country in the world if you wanted to reach those people, and you could blow up your business, which is part of the reason why I'm in 100 countries. It wasn't an accident, and it started in my small hometown of 7 people in my living room 9.5 years ago, and they kind of laughed at me. And I was like, hey, a global movement has to start in someone's house. And now here we are. So zero attrition. So let's talk about that. So lifetime distribution rights. This is very important. You buy the machine, you're in the company for life. There's no annual fee. There's no monthly fee. There's no reactivation fee. There's no limited volume qualification freaking thing. Nothing. You're just in for life. That's it. I think that's really cool. There's zero attrition, which means you keep your rank permanently, but it also means that there's no time limit to getting to the top of the compensation plan. Your job as a leader who builds this organization and makes sales is to just hit the total volume requirements, however long it takes you. If you make a sale, it never gets deleted from your total results for the rest of your life. So in a typical company, there's monthly volume requirements. And then on the first of the month, you're back at zero volume. And if you don't go back up to your rank volume the following month, you do not get paid at that level with that incentive and those bonuses and all that. And that's how most companies work. This company doesn't work like that. There's no auto ship or additional cost to participate in the compensation plan. You can use other people's money to start your business. It's the only one of its kind. It has high ticket commissions in depth, which we're going to get into in a few minutes. There's only 2 million machines sold so far, approximately, in the whole world. The company's still a baby, even though it's 48 years old. Next to no market penetration, and the company's doing well over $30 million per month in revenue. So let's talk about how this compensation plan works real fast. It has an 8-point commission payout per product sold, and it has a patented compensation plan. So on the right here, you're going to see a pie chart, and it's representing the commissions that are paid out every time a K8 is sold. So it's $340 for each slice of the pie and there's a total of 8 slices of the pie that gets paid out every time somebody sells a K8. And the person who makes the sale, the direct sale, gets their portion of the pie first, depending on their rank. And I'm going to get into that in a second. If there's points left over out of the 8, depending on the person who makes the sales rank, that remaining pie or slices of the pie will get paid to the people or person above them until all 8 points are paid out. Very simple compensation plan. It's a little confusing when you first see it, but in reality, it's very straightforward and very simple. So if you sell a trifecta, which we're going to talk about soon, it's $1,110 per slice of the pie. How cool is that? We're going to get into that in a second. So here's a quick example of what the compensation plan looks like on a basic level, just focusing on the first 100 product sales in your organization. So you buy the machine. Now you have this product that's going to last you over 20 years. All you have to do is maintain it, which is very easy to do. Replace the filter every 3 to 6 months, which is standard. And other than that, the machine is incredible, and it lasts, like I said, over 20 years. We actually don't really know how long it lasts because Mr. Ashir is still pumping his 30-year-old machine. So could just keep going. I don't know. So the first machine that you sell, you get 1 slice of the 8 slices, and that's your commission. So 1 out of the 8 points. And 1A just stands for 1 point associate. All right. So you get $340, and there's 7 left over for the people or person that's above you, and all 8 gets paid out. But here's what's really cool. Let's say you make a sale in your 1A lane, you get your $340, and that person you sold to goes and sells one to someone else. Well, they would get a check for $340, and you also get a check for $340, and that's still only 2 out of the 6 points. There's still 6 that goes to the people or person above you. So you can see that in that example, in the very first beginning there, you would get $340 on the direct sale, and then the next 7 direct sales, you would still make $340 because that equals 8 points. Isn't that insane? Like that is the coolest thing ever. And that's literally step 1 of the comp plan. Your second direct sale is the exact same thing with one point out of the 8, but you already get a promotion on your third direct sale. So you now get 2 out of the 8 points, and 2 times 340 is $680. So you get $680. There's 6 left over for the people or person above you. But as your team starts to grow and other people make sales below you, you'll get another $680, another $680, another $680, another $680 with sales that you technically had nothing to do with. You see how lucrative that is? And we're talking like the very beginning. This is like baby money compared to the real money, but it's still very, very exciting because all I want you to think about when you see these numbers, this is what I told you about what happened to me when we were sharing the water for 6 months and then we were confused on how to sell it. And the person we bought it from invited us over to his house. I was like, let me show you how the compensation plan works. And I'm sitting there watching the same presentation you're watching right now. And I'm going to myself, my mother who has 2 kids, who's working 7 days a week, 3 jobs, is making just over $3,000 per month. And you're telling me that I've been sharing water in the kitchen in these awkward conversations. And there's people who want to buy these machines and we can make 3 sales in a month and get $1,000 per sale and double our family income. Like I was just mind blowing. So I want you to ask yourself, what is your full-time income currently? And how many direct sales would be required for you to replace that or double it? And you'll notice it's actually just a handful of sales for most people. So anyway, after you have a total of 10 sales in your organization, which means you plus the people you sold to, doesn't matter which combination it is. It could be you selling 10 yourself personally, or it could be you sold 2 and they sold 8. Doesn't matter. It just has to be 10 total. You're now qualified for your next promotion on your next direct sale, which is your 11th sale. You now get 3 out of the 8 points already after just 10 sales. So your 11th sale, you get 1,020. Now let's say that person goes and sells to someone else. They'll make 340 because it's their very first sale, but you'll get another 1,020, which is still just 4 points out of the 8. They go and sell to someone else. They'll get another 340 because it's their second sale. You'll get another 3 points, 1,020. What? Pretty cool, right? So this will keep happening until all 8 points are paid out, which is amazing. After your team has a collected of 20 sales total, you get promoted to 4A, which is your 21st sale, and it has to be direct sale. You get 4 out of the 8 points. Now it's 1,360. Boom, I make a direct sale. I get a check for 1,360. They go make a sale. They get a check for 340. I get another check for 1,360. They go make another sale. They get a check for 340. I get another check for 1,360. And so everybody ranks up and starts to get more and more and more slices of the pie as they learn the business, as they get better as leaders, and so on and so forth. And it's really cool because it's a bit of an apprenticeship model built into this. Like, let's say I'm a 6A, right? And I'm going to sell a machine to somebody. Well, I'm going to get a check for $2,040. And when they make a sale, they're going to get a check for $340. So I'm incentivized to help my newest person get their first handful of sales because they're going to get 1 or 2 points and I'm going to get 6. So that's why the teamwork is really powerful, because why wouldn't I help my newest person knowing that I can help them be successful, but I also get a $2,000 check for helping them get a sale? It's built into the model of the apprenticeship, which is super powerful. So can you see how lucrative this is if I go all the way to 6A or you go all the way to 6A, which is only 100 total combined sales, you can keep making direct sales and getting $2,000, $2,000, $2,000, $2,000. And then when they make a sale, you get another $2,000. And then they make another sale and you get another $2,000. And then as the points start to go deeper in depth, all that happens is your check goes back down the points list. So let's say someone's in the 6A lane, right? And they make a sale to somebody. After 3 sales, they're getting 2 points and you're getting 6. That's all 8. But after they hit 3A in their business, they'll get 3 points, which means there's not 6 left over for you. There's only 5. So all that happens is you get a check for 5 points instead of 6. It just starts to go backwards down the line from 6 to 5 to 4 to 3 to 2, all the way back to 1. Make sense? So it's still very lucrative even at the 6A level. It just starts to decline because there's always a total of 8 points paid out. And the person who makes the direct sale gets their slices of the pie first, depending on their rank. So if the person in your team is a 6A, they'll get their 6 points and you'll get the remaining 2 points. Does that make sense for everybody? And this is the very, very basic introductory part of the compensation plan. So let's get into some a little bit more advanced stuff. So after you hit 6A, Enagic opens up another part of the compensation plan for you. And what happens is any sale that happens below the 8 points that we were just talking about, you'll still earn $200. So they pay that $200 on all the sales in your organization below the 8 points until the next 6A rank gets accomplished in that particular lane. That could literally be 50 sales deep, 50 people deep, doesn't matter, until one person hits 6A. And then you get the $200 on all the sales of those 50. And then at the 6A, the whole thing starts for that other individual, that other leader. So this is just a little bonus. They call it an education allowance because you're a leader and you're supporting your organization to make more sales. That's the idea. But I want to show you something around the Enagic trifecta commissions. Okay. So we talked about the fact that there's 3 top products the company sells. There's a K8, there's a Nespa, there's the Ukon turmeric supplement. And this is the commissions you can earn at each rank if you're selling trifectas. And you know how this actually came to be? I'll tell you a quick story. So when I first started my business 9.5 years ago, I was only selling one machine to each person that I was bringing into the business, just one machine at a time. That's how I started. That's how my mom got it started. We didn't even know about the other products. And over the course of the first year I was in the business, I started getting checks in the mail that I had no idea where they were coming from. And it was saying Anespa on the check and Ukon on the check. And I'm like so confused. And then I realized what was happening. The people that bought the machine from me months earlier, they wanted to replace their filters because you got to replace them every 3 to 6 months. The machine will talk to you and say, replace filter. It lets you know. So they were going to the Vancouver office, which is I was building locally at that time. And they walked into the office to buy a filter and they saw like a glass case that had all the different products on the shelf. And they loved their water machines so much that they talked to the Enagic corporate staff and said, what's that weird looking thing with the, like the Nespa kind of looks funny. It's like, what's that thing over there? And they're like, oh, that's the shower unit. And they're like, oh, that makes sense. I love my water machine so much. I want to get one of these things for the shower. So they would just sell themselves a machine, the shower, without my involvement at all. And then they're like, what else do you offer? They're like, oh, we have the supplement. It's amazing. It's a super antioxidant, turmeric supplement, blah, 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 blah. They're like, cool. I want to buy that too. So my customers were selling themselves additional products because they loved their original purchase so much. And I kept getting checks. And I'm like, this is freaking amazing. So then I thought to myself, what if we just simply gave people the option on day one to get all 3 of the best products right away and be able to sell themselves 2 of the products, which would then fill up their 1A positions. So their first actual customer, their first actual sale to another person, they'd already get a promotion. They'd already start at 2A. So when Heidi introduced me, she said, I revolutionized the compensation plan. This is how we did it. We literally just started selling 3 products at a time instead of 1. And it was the top 3 products the company offered. And people were rank advancing on day 1. They're getting checks in the mail day 1. They're excited day 1. And our team just absolutely blew up. So look what happens when you sell the trifecta instead of the commissions I was just showing you. 1A, you get 565, 2A, 1300, 3A, 1695, 4A, 2260, 5A, 2825, and 6A, 3390. That's how much you earn on one single sale. So how many trifectas do you need to sell right now part-time in your side hustle business before you can take this as your full-time income? For most people, it's 1 or 2 trifecta sales a month, and you're earning just as much, if not more, of your full-time job. And there's a lot of people barely earning $50,000 a year in Canada and US and stuff like that. There's a large percentage of people there. And if you're doing 2 trifecta sales at 6A, I mean, look at that. It's up there. So we also have a thing called a quad, which means you're selling 2 K8s to a single customer, and they use one as a loaner machine to be able to share the water a little bit more effectively. What they're able to do is instead of sharing it and driving around town and whatnot, they just put a machine in your house for 30 days, hook it up to your kitchen. It's like a puppy dog close where you experience it, you wash your fruits and veggies, you drink it, you cook with it, you clean with it. And then 30 days from now, you take the machine out of their kitchen and they go back to their tap water with their bottled water, and they're devastated. And within a couple of days, they're calling you saying, how do I get one of these machines? I can't live without it. So you have a pretty much a guaranteed sale if you do the quad and have an extra loaner machine. And a lot of people are going for this. And look at that, 6A, $5,370 for one single customer getting a quad. Pretty powerful stuff. So how much can you earn for reaching 6A? This is what we were talking about at the beginning of this call. You only need 35 customers between you and your team, not personally, but combined as a group, 35 people to get a trifecta, and you reach 6A. Show me another compensation plan with 35 sales, combined effort, you and your team, you can earn anywhere from $65,000 to $100,000 in your first, however long it takes you to get 35 sales. So let's talk about the career incentive. When I first saw this, I was like, okay, I'm going all the way. I'm going to go to 6A2-8. I don't know how. I don't know how long it's going to take me, but I'm going to do it. So that was me. That's my personality. That's how I roll. What's exciting about this is that you get paid in direct proportion to how many lives that you change. So at 6A, you get a one-time $3,000 bonus, which is only 101 product sales. Between you and your team, it's roughly 35 trifectas. So it's not a huge, impossible task. Once two people in your organization each do the same thing and they get 6A rank also, you become a 6A2 and you get a $6,000 title incentive bonus. When two people duplicate that one more time, you get to become a 6A2-2 and you get a $12,000 bonus. Now it gets really exciting when you look at the part in the middle here that says 6A2-3, which is the orange part. Enagic actually pays a legacy income. It's like a pension or a retirement plan in addition to your direct sales, in addition to all the other bonuses. This is above and beyond all of that. And it's $5,000 monthly for life. That's pretty good. And sometimes people don't realize how much that works out to be. So I want to kind of give you a little bit of an idea here. So do you know how much money you need to save in an investment for you to earn $60,000 a year just from a dividend kickback? Do you know how much money you need to have in the bank for, like, let's say retirement, for example? You need to have $1 million in the bank, okay, at 6% annual interest being paid to you to earn $5,000 per month. You can create $5,000 a month from this company without having to grow or save or put $1 million in the bank or into some kind of investment vehicle. Pretty powerful stuff. I have one position at 6A2-3. I have another position at 6A2-4, which is $10,000 monthly for life. And I have another position at 6A2-5. And I have another position that's almost 6A2-3. So I built 4 positions in 9.5 years where the monthly bonuses are in the 6-figure range just from this alone, not including all the other stuff that I do. So just to show you what's possible when you plant your flag and you build something long-term and you're not thinking short-term and get rich quick. And even though you can make a lot of money from direct sales in the short term, this is what's possible when you plant your flag 3, 5, 7, 10 years down the road. And that's what I was after. I was after legacy income. The reason I have 4 positions is because there's 4 people that are going to be in my family: myself, my wife, my daughter, and my future next kid. And I figured we might as well each have our own Enagic positions that are all going to go to the top. So that's why I did 4, but everybody's different. So look at this. When you get all the way to 6A2-8, which currently nobody in the world or in the company has achieved yet, there's 3 people in the world at 6A2-7. There's 12 people in the world at 6A2-6, and there's 20 people in the world at 6A2-5. So it's still a baby, this company, it's still just starting. In the next 10 years, there's going to be a whole bunch of -8s, whole bunch of -7s. It's going to be really, really cool. So that's that. And now I want to show you one more thing that's really cool and high level around what's possible long-term. So once you hit 6A2, right, which is 2 people who each had 35 trifectas, I want you to wrap your mind around this because it's a little bit might go over your head. So the compensation plan is an 8-point compensation plan like we talked about before, the 8 slices of the pie, right? But once you're 6A2, Enagic pays 8 levels of 6As in depth in one lane. So that means you made one direct sale, that's a lane. You make another direct sale, that's a lane. You make another direct sale, that's a lane. So once you are 6A2 personally as your rank, Enagic will compensate you on 8 levels of 6As in depth. You know how long it took me to actually have 8 levels of 6As filled with real people? It was about 4 years from the day I started. It takes quite a long time for 6As to fill in all 8 levels. So let's say conservatively, each 6A team leader is doing 20 product sales in their group total in their business per month, which is very conservative numbers for people that are 6A. You would earn $20 for every product that's sold on all 8 levels in additional income, which is $6,400 in this example of 320 sales in your business combined per month. But if you continue building with direct sales, which most people will and most people do, you're going to have an opportunity to keep filling these 8 levels from the very top and filling in more of the 8 levels of 6As. So now you have 20, again, duplicated. It's 480 sales a month in your business, 640 sales in your business, 800 sales a month in your business combined with everybody. You can earn an additional $16,000 with 800 sales per month in your business. Now, I know that seems like a lot of sales, but this is combined where everybody's doing a little bit. And remember, if you're sharing the water, the machines sell themselves because people get results. They feel the difference. Their problems are going away, over time. It's not a health claim. It's just what happens in different ways for different people and all that stuff. So currently my business is doing about 3,700 sales per month right now. But it took a long time, 9.5 years it took us to get here. So now let's say that there's people in your team that are 6A5 instead of 6A2, and you're doing 100 sales per group per month. Look at this. Look what happens. 4,000 sales per month, $88,000 per month just in this one additional bonus. It's pretty incredible how lucrative and generous this company is. But here's the biggest thing that I want you to wrap your mind around. What we get paid for a sale is a fraction compared to the value the person who makes the purchase receives. You cannot put a price on someone's health. Like we talked about earlier, if you lose your health, you'll pay any amount of money to get it back. So therefore, for us to be compensated this amount of money is totally fair compared to what we're providing to the marketplace. Does this make sense for you? It's very important to wrap your mind around it. The reason why the product costs what it costs is because of the value that it provides people. And the reason we get paid what we get paid is because of the fact that we change people's lives in such a dramatic way. So it's all proportionate and it's all a win-win-win. So this can go infinitely wide. You can continue to make direct sales and never, ever, ever stop and make a full-time income just from direct sales and never worry about duplication, never worry about team leaders or none of that stuff. If that happens, which it will happen organically, plus the support, the community, the training, the online marketing platforms, I want to give you a real powerful example that often people miss. Let's talk about the potential for the next 5 years. Okay. So in the beginning, when you start something new, like learning a skill of social media marketing or online marketing, for those of you that are interested in that, running paid ads, it's a lot of learning. So you have to invest your time to understand it, wrap your mind around it. But we provide step-by-step training. You follow the video, you pause the video, you log in, you do the thing. So it's not hard, but it still takes time. So in the beginning, you're investing the most amount of your time for the least amount of money at first. But money follows mastery. You need to understand that. The people who get paid are the people with the skills, and the skills take time to develop. So as you start to develop your skills, as you get some ads off the ground and it gets some traction and some leads and things along those lines, you let the system do the selling. You just follow the way we teach. There's going to be this thing where your money starts to go up, but the time that you need to work on your business dramatically goes down, which is the inflection point. So you can literally earn $60,000 per month, for example, and be working a few hours a week, which many people in my team have gotten to that point, but it took them 3 to 4 years from day one to get to that point. So this is the reason why a lot of people, they don't start these type of businesses because they're intimidated by what they need to do. They're intimidated by the learning. They're intimidated by the commitment because your commitment level, your input does not match your output in the beginning. But now, I'm 9.5 years in. I've basically been retired from having to work after 3 years of building this business. I'm getting paid on my hard work for the first 3 years, still 9.5 years later. And I took 18 months off when my daughter was born, full-time dad. I held her every single day. And my dreams came true in being present and not having to work. And so what I want you to understand is that if you were to commit 3 years, 5 years, you'll make money in the short term. Don't get me wrong. You make a sale, you get paid immediately from the company. But the real true value of the legacy income and the residual income aspect of this company is you have to go through this growth curve, and it's uncomfortable and it sucks because you're like, well, I could be doing this, I could be doing that, but nothing will pay you better long-term than focusing on this for the next few years. I promise you that. It's so lucrative and you're literally changing people's lives. So as your team grows, as people start to share the water more and more, the more your team grows, the larger it gets, the more leverage you get. Now, here's the part that changes the entire game for all of you who wrap your mind around this and are interested in learning how to build it online with paid advertising. We teach people not only to put 10 hours per week in their business, but to invest $10 per day into ads. Very reasonable, especially for the ROI that you can receive from your ad spend. So one person in your team total, which would be you to start with, and you're going to spend $300 per month in ads, regardless of what you receive in commissions. It's like a bill. Phone bill, you pay it every month. Your advertising budget, you pay it every month. $300, you commit to it. You make the sacrifices you need to make. You pay $300 a month minimum. 5 people is $1,500 per month of advertising budget that if there is a sale, you get compensated from. So check this out. 10,000 people in your business, $3 million per month in advertising dollars that you get compensated on, and it's not coming out of your pocket. Can you imagine that? There's mega corporations that are not spending $3 million per month on advertising. This is the power of this model.